Welcome, Xaye Faith and Devann Edwards. I am so happy to have you here on Coffee and Tea with CarrieVee today.
Carrie, is amazing to see you again. Like, great to connect with you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the pleasure is all mine. So I want to know what is lighting up the two of you today, because you came onto the show completely glowing, and I love the energy that is emanating from you. So give us all the goods.
So we're really excited just with everything's working out. I guess a little bit off topic. So Devann and I, we have been working separately for the past 3 years. And so we have come back together just this past week. And so that's super exciting. We're like interviewing and doing work again together in person. But even just with, connecting with all the speakers for our upcoming summit and just really preparing for that event. I mean, we are super excited with we're on projections to reach an audience of over 200,000 people.
Wow.
And so really just, providing business owners the information that they need in order to grow and get to the next level in their business. So it's super exciting because, being as an entrepreneur, sometimes it just feels like, I asked the man this morning, I'm like, do we even know what we're doing? do we know what we're doing right now? And, the hiring and then shifting and then filling in, and so really providing entrepreneurs the tools and the resources that they need in order to get to the next level.
Yeah.
And collaborating with beautiful people like yourself. It's really exciting.
Yeah, that's literally one of the things that's lighting me up as well personally, is meeting these amazing minds that have a shared vision, and we can just really just not only vibe but really expand each other's minds and help each other grow. So that's something that's lighting me up recently.
Yeah. So how did you get started in the whole summit space? And what is so at the end of this particular summit that is coming up quickly, which I know that I hope you will talk about more so we can get more people coming and hearing from the two of you. What would be the number one thing at the end if people said, oh my gosh, this summit was amazing? Because what would be the one thing that you would want to hear? What would make it a success to you?
So one thing would be that for business, particularly business owners and entrepreneurs, they would, literally, as you said, they'll be able to take the one thing that's going to really elevate their business and maximize their potential within the business. Because business is nothing without the actual person. So they're gonna get tools, strategies, resources that will enable them to be a better version of themselves, to even project a better business for themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah. And I mean, we know like the top 2 areas in our business, to be a business is marketing and sales. And so just throughout our personal experience and, just networking and collaborating with other entrepreneurs, we found different ways, especially, we're in 2023 now. So a lot of the marketing and sales strategies that were used back in the day, they're not working in 2023. Or there's more ways to be more efficient and productive in your business. And, with all the platforms, the different platforms that are out there now, collaborative marketing and learning to leverage with partnerships, because even we just had to hire a new staff member yesterday. So we could really focus and get on the front line and focus on what we're good at in our business. So we're serving the company. When you leverage and you partner with other people, it's a tool that we could use instead of trying to build a business up by yourself. So definitely really showing entrepreneurs that we can have it all. We don't have to do it by ourselves. And there's so many tools and strategies, and we're inviting we actually got a lot of bonus speakers. We're super excited to be sharing, but it's inviting the audience to see these speakers and how they are really leveraging and growing in the new economy. We really love to share these tools and resources with the audience.
Yeah. Where does that passion come from? This passion of helping others on their business and entrepreneurship journey?
Well, for me, I think because I've always had an entrepreneur spirit. I've always just been very free and loving to contribute back to others. And
Mhm.
like I was saying before, entrepreneurs, we don't have, when we sign up to start our own company or to be the vessel to serve others with our products and services, there's no manual, there's no guide. So we just kind of figure things out as we go along. And
Yeah.
especially now, there's just so much information out there, and some of it is wrong and outdated now. So really just, honing in, we're entrepreneurs and we love to talk to other entrepreneurs. Like that's just those are our people. So
Yes.
really being a part of, contributing to like, hey, here's a little bit more clarity. Here's like more now information to help us get to the next level. So that's my passion. Like just being an entrepreneur, loving the work, loving the life and the freedom of
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, but then also being able to contribute to other entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And for myself, it's more about like transformation, contribution. Like, how can I support the world by being the best version of myself? And one thing I realized as well on the journey was that entrepreneurship is literally the cure for that. And so it was a cure for me because I was at a point where, I mean, I had an entrepreneurial spirit, but I had no guidance until I received guidance from entrepreneurs. They're supporting the fact that what they see in me, the possibilities they see in me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is what you see in me. Now, how can I use this energy? How can I use this gift that you're seeing that's within me
Yeah.
and make it make sense, make it have purpose? And then so I went on this personal development journey, met Xaye along the way. That's a bonus, you know. And
That's a great bonus too.
It's the
It's the
main
ultimate.
thing. It's the main thing.
It is the main thing.
the main thing, you know. But literally, it really lit up my life for real. And because I was just dwelling until entrepreneurship like got onto my radar. So it's been an exciting journey because now I get to like one of my ultimate goals is growth. So I really just want to like how better can I get? How much better can I support others
Yes.
that have the same vision as well? So yeah.
So you said something that really caught my brain and piqued my interest here. The cure was entrepreneurship. Go
Yes.
deeper on that, because I think a lot of people get hung up on the word entrepreneurship and what that really means. And a lot of people think that it means we have to jump in day one with a full-time business and that's what entrepreneurship is. And then you're here saying, well, the cure was entrepreneurship. And then you have people saying, oh, I'm never going to be cured. I'm never going to be the best me. Right. So, so go a little deeper on that, if you would.
Yeah.
Or
So
either one.
okay. So one of the things we can ask ourselves the question: what drives the economy? You know, like and what holds it back?
Mm.
So what holds back the economy, or what I'd say, like what causes disease in the economy, is lack of innovation. It's also lack of progress. It's also trying to do the same thing and expecting a different result.
Insanity.
Insanity, crazy,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And you have a lot of companies that's trying to do the same thing and not being willing to evolve. But the mind of the entrepreneur is wired for that. So it's like
Yes.
if there's more entrepreneurship and having the mindset of doing that, even while you may be an employee, but you still have that mindset and still do things outside of where you're at to really cause disruption, because the disruption is going to lead to more progression and again more growth. You know, so
Yes.
so that's why literally entrepreneurship all day for me. You know, it's like, but if you want to solve a problem, you get to tap into that entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
That's how you solve a problem, you know?
Yes.
And also Xaye, she was speaking with someone yesterday talking about marketing and like literally how that relates to nature. So if you want to touch upon that.
Yeah, and to piggyback off what he's saying, creativity, because when you're an entrepreneur, again, like there's no book that you're given, like if we opted into a different career, there's you go to the classes, you learn the skills, but,
Yes.
for entrepreneurs, we really figure it out, as we're doing it, which, by the way, do not quit your full-time job. It's something you can, especially like, with, there's so many things that we can leverage with now. There's so many ways that we can do it on the side or do it
Yes.
part-time and
Yes.
work and work being a full-time entrepreneur. So we do not recommend that anybody just jumps in, even though I'm crazy and that's something that I did. I do not recommend it for everyone.
Yes.
But so yeah, entrepreneurship for me, it just feels, going back to a reflection of life. We're spiritual.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like whenever you pay attention to life and nature, like everything, it naturally evolves. And so whenever you are kind of put on edge, or you're put, what's the word I should use? When you're put, I heard this phrase, on the skinny branches, like, there's not a lot of safety net. It transforms you from the inside. So you begin to do, you live personal development instead of studying personal development. Your true character shows up. You become super resourceful. You really
Yes.
tap into a different level of yourself, even on a spiritual level. And so really just, pushing it outside of your comfort zone, you're getting in alignment with life
Yes.
and the ultimate realm of spirituality. So I'm trying not to go too far down there.
Yeah.
You
You got me wanting to dive deeper as well. I'm gonna go on the article.
Yeah, so for me, it just, entrepreneurship is literally, I believe, because it allows you to exercise every part of you. You're not playing safe. You're not putting on, like in my last job, I was actually in the Air Force. I don't know if I told you that, but I literally had to conform into that culture and that environment. And so I didn't know what I didn't know about myself. There were different things that I had never tried, and I thought that it wasn't me, but it wasn't that it wasn't me. It's just I had never given myself a chance to actually practice that part of me, or to even try it twice. You know what I'm saying? Because I have the saying about trying things twice before you say you don't like it or not.
Yes.
But with entrepreneurship, I feel like when you pay attention to the animals, they literally are super present, and they obviously they don't have the consciousness that we have, but they are literally living, for moments, super present, and and whatever happens to them, they figure it out in that moment.
Yes.
Not comparing us to animals, but entrepreneurship, I think it gives us that freedom. It gives us the path to personal development to really get to a point to where we can begin to optimize our potential.
Active learning.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, it's just a personal development process, and so and it's a reflection of life. We started out entrepreneurship and network marketing, and it's a super misunderstood career field. But I felt like that for me, because when I was in my last job, I was like, I know there's something more, but whenever I went to the career development, or even in, in school, I'm like, I know there's something more, but when I'm reading these job descriptions, it just doesn't fit into it. And so whenever I started network marketing, I'm like, this is exactly what I've been looking for, but then of course there's more personal development that I had to learn. But for me, it's just the representation of life, because there's no limit.
Yes.
You get to become your better self. You become great at communication. You become great at being uncomfortable.
Yes.
You develop yourself. So I know that was a long-winded question. I mean,
no, that was awesome. It just, it woke my brain up in so many areas. And pretty much everyone that listens to this podcast is on a spiritual path, so you can bring that in as much as you want. And I also started off on my entrepreneurial journey in network marketing. And I was working as a general manager, started this network marketing, which I loved. And I remember the owner of the company one time saying, so I don't care if you're going to do this, but don't talk about it too much, because I don't want everyone here thinking they can just go out and start a side hustle. And that was the beginning of the end for me, because I thought, now, wait a minute, you have 4 streams of income as the owner of this company. You have this main business and 3 side hustles going on. so that you have 4 streams of income going into your family. Why would you want to stop your employees from having that same freedom?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Why would you want to do that? I can remember sitting at my desk stunned, like, I'm going to quit. And I did. And I did, because I just felt it was just so wrong.
Yeah.
It's so wrong to hold people back when we have people like you that are bringing forth this total freedom.
Yeah.
This is who you are, is total freedom. And right? Am I right in saying that? I'm sorry. I just made
Yes,
a total
no,
assumption.
that's our company, that's our
Yeah.
community. Like, yes, total freedom. Yes.
And so we have you bringing this, and then we have people who are maybe sitting in a cubicle who are being told, this is it. You cannot do anything else. What would you say to them? Where would you lead them? What would this summit do for them? Like, give us all the goods, because there are people sitting in corporate America right now who are being told
Mhm.
that they're in danger of losing their job if they do anything outside of their job.
Yeah, and what you're saying is so important. I was actually speaking to someone yesterday, and she was explaining how she grew up in a family, and I think her dad had like 12 siblings, and all of them were entrepreneurs and business owners, but they all had a side income to leverage what they're already doing.
Yeah.
And so, and that's what we really want people to get out of this, is you don't have to do business the way business has been done in the
Yes.
past, because we are in a new economy. You know,
Mhm.
there's so much innovation, there's so much technology, AI is out here, so you don't have to do everything yourself.
Yes.
And so you don't have to always hire people. You literally can just plug some stuff into your computer and it prompts it for you, and you have content, and you have
Is that
a
amazing?
schedule. It's so beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And so we're gonna have people on the summit like teaching about different strategies of how you can grow and leverage, you know, for that extra income. You know,
Yes.
having one income was never a great idea. Never.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Relying on one source of income. You're relying on one entity, one job to say when you get paid and how often you get paid and how much you get paid. That has never
Yes.
been okay for me. You know, the
Mhm.
reason why I love my safety, government, Air Force job. And first of all, I'm super grateful, like, because of the opportunity, I'm here. You know, I'm
Yes.
super grateful, but there were a lot of limits, you know, when I could take days off. And,
Yes.
you know, again, I had to pass a test in order to get paid more, you know, whenever on a set schedule that they gave me, versus like with, you know, we're doing some cash injections this weekend, you
Yeah.
know, to just because we can and we have the freedom in our schedule and because we want to, and we're deciding it as business owners, right? But, you know, having the summit is going to give the audience so many tools, so many resources, so many strategies in order to cash inject and leverage. And you don't even have to be an entrepreneur. You know, those are our people, because a lot of times with us being the pioneers and the disruptors and the innovators
Mhm.
and the creators, you know, people think like, oh, that's just, you can do that. But anybody can leverage with your strengths. Like, we're
Yes.
all good at something.
Yes.
We're all great at something. And so
Yes.
really just giving people that you can definitely, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm a business owner. It can be like, hey, you know, I have this service or I have the skills, I bake goods and I want to sell some, because selling is a part of life,
Yes.
right? And to just to take care of my gas bill, or you know, to close that gap on the inflation that's happening right now in the world.
Yes.
So having another source of income, it gives you freedom in your mind, in your emotions.
Mhm.
So that way, because when you only have one stream of income and you're waiting to get paid on that one day, it causes anxiety, it causes
Yes.
stress, it causes relationship issues. You know, it
Mhm.
you know, it causes health issues.
Yes, it
Being,
does.
you know, they say Monday, I forgot the time, but it's the highest rate of heart attacks. Just because people are so stressed going to work, because they don't like the place they work, but they feel enslaved to it because that's the only
Yes.
way that they are getting income, because they're
Yes.
depending on one source. And so having multiple streams of income, especially whenever it's something that you are an expert in and that you're passionate about, it doesn't feel like work, number
Yep.
one. But then also it's just like you can cash inject at any moment throughout your week or even your day, and you can have flexibility to say, oh, well, I can do this for you real quick and exchange value with someone, because someone's looking for something. Like, people are becoming millionaires on YouTube making Play-Doh, or you know what I mean, making
Playing with toys. Yeah.
yeah. So it's just like there's so many ways to leverage your income, your lifestyle, your decrease your stress in your life.
Yeah. And another thing I would say as well is like wherever you're at, if you're in the toilet, if you're just outside walking, listen to this, or no matter whichever part of your life or what, something that's helped me and it just helps ourselves is perspective. If anyone's listening to this, write down perspective. Because one thing is that your perspective can either devour you or it can empower you. But it's about the choices that you make. So something that I do that's quite practical is like a framework I use. It's called GROW. It's the GROW model. And so it's kind of like a acrostic where you can really dive deep on how you think through a situation and then create a plan of action. So grow, like for example, it'd be G. What's your goal? You know, like what are you trying to achieve? What are you committed to achieve? You know, like getting really real with that. And then R will be the reality. What is currently going on? You know, what's happening in your situation now that you can address, you can identify. That's real to you. You know, and then now O is options. It says, what might you do? Like Xaye and I, we like to make lists of stuff that we get to do, you know, and stuff that we want to accomplish. But we have to write it down because we have to engage every part of our senses to make it real again, you know. So it's like, what might you do? And then W, what will you do?
Oh, I love that.
How do you finalize that commitment with your willpower, with your willingness? You know, what will you do now that you've addressed all of these things? What you might do now that you've addressed what you're trying to achieve, what will you do? Because that's all that matters. All that matters at the end is, are you gonna implement this? Are you gonna do what you say or what you intend to do?
Yes.
So anywhere you are, you get to grow. That's it.
You get to grow. I love that.
And then I want to just, I guess, hone in what I was saying earlier, because I know I went on a rant. I get super excited. But wisdom, because we don't know what we don't know.
Yes.
Right. So for the people who aren't tapping into the AI right now, right, or who are afraid of it, just like we were afraid of the internet. Like, I remember as a kid saying like, oh, I'm never gonna put my credit card on the internet. And honey, I'm using Amazon. No, I'm DoorDashing. I'm doing all the things now. But it wasn't in like 15 years ago, probably like 10 years. I don't know. You know, the internet is developed. Well, it's been for a while, but public use, like we haven't used it for our some people's entire lives. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, or what else is new? Like, so AI is coming, and honestly, we've already been using AI. For the people who have smartphones and they're using their face recognition, that is AI. There's not a person saying, "Oh, you have access granted." That is the artificial intelligence.
Yes, I never thought of it that way, but yeah,
there's so much when you're talking to Siri or Alexa, who, you know what I mean. That is AI. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't think about it. So for people who are like afraid or aren't using AI, it's like you've already been using it. They just didn't call it that.
Yeah.
So how about get in front of what's happening in the economy? Like, this is the first time, you know, we're in a recession. And so the playing field is even now. It's going to be even, you know. And so this is a chance for everyone to really get in front of what's happening in the economy versus, you know, years ago, maybe people didn't know about the 08 crash. They wasn't aware, or the one before that. So this is a real chance for us to really tune in, get the wisdom that we need.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be a lot. It can be some minor changes that we can take through collaborating with other people, doing joint venture partnerships, or really just being in the room with people who know what's happening in the world. And that's why joining the summit would be a great benefit for whether you're a business owner or not, because just having the information, it calms your stress instead of, you know, putting our head under the sand. I think that's the saying.
Yeah.
You know, by at least processing, okay, this is happening. There's no way to stop. Like, imagine life without Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
You know, this is happening, you know, it's already here. Cars are already driving themselves. And so how can I best support myself and my family in order to be ahead of it instead of being left behind
Yeah.
again, right?
Yeah, again, I love that you added
Again.
that word. This is all so incredibly powerful. And I love that you brought in these, 10 years ago, we're saying, I'll never put my credit card out there. And now I have one permanently attached to Amazon because I'm shopping from there all the time. And things like artificial intelligence, you really opened my mind. I never thought about talking to Siri as being artificial intelligence. And I just this past weekend jumped on the bandwagon and purchased a program on book writing with AI. Because when I saw it in action, I was like, why am I not using this? I'm pushing 60 hard. They is knocking on the door for me, right? And so I've seen a lot
No
of,
way.
You're so youthful.
thank you.
Wow.
CarrieVee, youthful, okay.
I hang out, my very best friend is the age of my oldest daughter. And I really believe that there is power in hanging out with people older and younger than you. And I think it creates a life of abundance by a lot of people just stay kind of in their own little group forever.
Yeah.
And I think that ages you in very quickly.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with people older, people younger. I want to hear the wisdom. I want to learn. So when we travel together, we have one of my Gen Z, right? And a millennial. And it is hysterical sometimes, the differences between us, and we learn so very, very much.
Yes.
So
Yes.
in my lifetime, like internet, I remember dial-up. I remember sitting there and waiting for that
my
dial-up
gosh.
to start. That was my very first experience with the internet. And I didn't know it was all long distance charges till I got the $800 phone bill. I had no idea. Like, I was like, I'm not using that anymore. To now, I'm picking up my phone and I'm not even thinking about it. I am just whipping through the internet. Learning and growing, which you've both brought in, is so important. And when we I see too many people do it, so many people do it, they dig their heels in and refuse to change, refuse to look at the changes that are there. And I understand technology, this little device can also become a ball and chain if you let it.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? We get to learn how to balance those things. And that's all entrepreneurship too. This is a whole new world that network marketing opened to me. I had no idea what was, I didn't own one book. Well, one personal development book when I started, right?
Yeah.
Now, hundreds, literally, I haven't read them all yet, but I literally own hundreds of these books, right? My husband was like, we need less books. And I said, are you kidding me? We need more bookshelves. Don't ask me to get rid of my books. But the whole point is there's a whole world out there if you open up your mind to it.
Mm-hmm.
And the changes. And I love that you brought in artificial intelligence and how the internet is growing. And it does, yes, there's some things on there that are not true. And we get to learn by exploring and then tapping into you and what you're bringing in this summit as to what is truth and how can I leverage this in my life and business, and how can I become a better version of myself, and how can I go to the grocery store and actually buy the groceries that I want and need for my family rather than stressing because I'm not getting paid till Friday.
Yep.
It's powerful what you're doing, and it truly is this life of total freedom that you are helping people tap into. It is, and to see how the youth that you bring and the power and the emotion that you are bringing out into the world, it just makes my heart so happy. Because when I was your age, it was not readily available. I'm sure it was there, but it was very hidden because we were born and raised to believe that you entered corporate America and you stayed with your golden handcuffs on until you were 65. Where they handed you a gold watch and you left to go home and die. Right. That was life. And I was constantly pushing against that box because I didn't like that box. It made no sense to me to not live for 65 years so that I could live for 20 or 5 or whatever was left.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
made no
Yeah.
sense to me. And talk about Mondays. Sundays became a day I hated because it meant Monday was next. That's not life. And you are helping people choose life, which is my whole tagline. Life is short, choose wisely. Why not have more life while you still have life to choose?
Exactly.
And it's what you're bringing. It's what you're bringing. So how do we get involved? Well, I have 2 other questions I should ask first, but I'm just going to go right here. How do we tap into this summit, and how do we tap into this greatness, and how do we tap into you?
That's a great question. So, so firstly, do you want to go to Power Partnerships?
Well, Carrie, you're gonna get a special link for this audience. You're gonna get a
Yes,
special
yes,
link
yes.
for this
Okay.
audience. Hopefully before this goes live. If
Okay.
not, well, we'll send an email. Carrie will send an email.
I will.
So make sure you're checking your email, but we're gonna send a special link for everybody to get access to it.
Okay.
I know she was working on it, but I don't think our VA actually published the link yet. So I don't want people. When are you gonna post this? Can I ask this now?
Yeah,
When is-
Tuesday. So
Oh yeah. So hopefully it's published by today.
okay, it's all good.
Today's
We're
Tuesday.
we're gonna worry about the link later. But right now, tell us about the summit. When is it? What are we tapping into? What can we expect? And then how do we keep following you?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when you attend, you get to really expand your business experience. Like,
I
you're
love
gonna
And
that.
your
learn-
life.
and your life.
Yeah.
Because
Business is life.
Yes, it is.
you're gonna learn a lot of things that you may or may not have known about your business, but again, in a different perspective, in a different way, which you can implement like ASAP,
Yeah.
as soon as possible.
Yes.
Those who don't know what ASAP is. Yeah.
Yeah. and we're collaborating with powerhouses like Carrie. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you definitely show up. It's going to be a live event on March 28th. And we actually have some bonuses, and it's going to be an all-day event from 9 a.m. to about 6 p.m. EST.
Okay.
But yeah, so definitely make sure you get access to the link with Carrie.
Yes.
Calendars for March 28th.
Yes.
Going live, guys.
I love it. So everyone who is listening, if you are watching this on YouTube, grab that link and get enrolled. This is going to be powerful. I can't imagine this being anything less than mind-blowing, because I could listen to the 2 of you talk and teach all day, literally all day. The passion and the power is palpable, and we don't see that enough. If you even do you ever people watch? You ever just watch people come out of Walmart?
Yeah. I'm that person. I be watched.
Yeah. And we used to, okay, so full disclosure here. We used to go on cruises with my aunt and her partner. My aunt has since passed away, but we used to go on Disney cruises with them. And we would sit at the adult pool, the 4 of us, my husband, my aunt, her partner, and me. And we would watch people come in, and based on the expressions on their faces, we would speculate as to what they did for a living. And,
that's
and
a fun game.
it really was fun. We would dissolve into laughter. And then eventually we would go find these people and strike up conversations to see how on we were. And we were on most of the time, just by expressions and their body language, how, if they came in just kind of slumped over, and you could just tell, are these people on a vacation that they truly like, oh my gosh, this is their living week of their life.
Yeah.
And those who came in just super energized, like this was just another piece of living of their life. And they're 2 very different things, 2 very, very different things. And it was a fun game. And I do people watch now, and it just breaks my heart to see how many people never smile.
Yeah, this is so good. I want to continue the conversation. I want to go deep because sometimes when we're in the work, like we forget, who we are and what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say thank you for,
oh my gosh,
for just speaking.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, for being here. This is, I just seeing you and what you are doing is, I can't tell you what it does for me. I really did mean when I sent the email to you where the subject line was, you brought me the sunshine today. You both bring this light that is it's almost like you have halos around your faces.
Thank you.
And and I know it's not, I mean, no, it's not a ring light. It's not the light streaming in a window. It literally comes from within you and shines out of you, and the passion that you have to help people have this freedom. And I mean, I was that young mother. I was looking for my calculator, but I must put it away. I was that young mother who went through the store with my 4 kids in tow, I had 4 kids in 4 years. And I would stand in the grocery store with those 4 kids with my calculator, determining if I was going to buy napkins this week or if I was going to buy food this week. It was that close. I had to have a calculator because I didn't know if I would have enough money to check out. That was my life. And I didn't know there was anything else for me. I thought that was it. And you're out there showing us and teaching us that no, that doesn't have to be life. You can have the napkins and the fruit and vegetables and the ice cream sandwiches if you want it. And if you want to stop for pizza on the way home, you can do that too.
Yes, ma'am.
Most definitely.
Yes, ma'am. And yeah,
That's beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
Well, you both are absolutely beautiful in every way. I can't thank you enough for being here, for doing this summit. And in addition to the summit, is there a place where our listeners can tap in to follow you for more and find out more of what you're doing?
Yeah. So so we do we have our own Instagram and
Okay.
Facebook. So if you definitely want to tap into us, I'm my Instagram, I'm Xaye Faith at Life with Xaye. And then Devann is Devann Edwards on both platforms.
Yeah, at
Okay.
Devann, the Connect 11, and then our YouTube, Devann Edwards.
But we also
Okay.
have a Total Freedom Community Facebook group and page. So a lot of our business content is there as well. So it's just
Okay.
Total Freedom. Is it Total Freedom Event?
Total Freedom Events on YouTube, Facebook page, Facebook group.
Yes.
Got it. And I will link all of that in the show notes so that we can just tap and follow, because I know people are going to want more and more and more of you. And this isn't the last time that you'll be on Coffee and Tea with CarrieVee. If you will come back.
We'd love to. We'd love to.
Would love to have you back. So we want to know your version of your pow shoes, which you can answer however you want.
Okay, so superpower. Okay,
Yes.
so I think, honestly, collectively, I think our superpowers are being connectors.
Mhm. I see that.
That's definitely one of our superpowers. I think another superpower for me is being highly observant
Mhm.
and intimate with relationships. So that's because I can really I don't have to know your whole story to know your story.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
And I feel that's
Powerful.
Yeah. Raise up there.
For myself, I think my superpower, I'm gonna say it. No, I think my superpower is definitely empowering people to be themselves.
Yes.
Because I'm all the things, right? I'm loud, I'm awkward, I also can be reserved. But really just being myself, it does something to people. And not saying
Yes.
that I'm that person, but I am.
But you are.
But
You
I
claim
am,
that.
but-
Yes.
But also, like, people tell me. So I think that's one of my greatest gifts is by me just being myself, I empower other people to be
Yes.
themselves. So I think that's one of my superpowers. And communication. I think I don't say things right. I barely know English, but I think I communicate to a way that people can feel what I'm saying, and
Yes.
to I don't know, to help them to love, inspire, feel, and experience life.
Yes.
Rest their life.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Speak that with power and joy, because it is all true. It is all true.
Indeed.
Yes. All right. A journal prompt. This is where we are. You can give us as many as you want.
So we're gonna surprise this audience. We're gonna reflect and think about what we think would best serve them just based on our conversation. And thank you for letting this be a very open conversation. So I think we're going to create a bonus, but right now, just based on what you said, like your audience, they are looking for better sleep. And so what we'll do is we have a sleep guide it's called Miracle Sleep Secrets, something we created. And so we'll definitely share. And in that one, it's specifically to help people with their sleep. But for this podcast, we'll create something by next week or by today.
Okay.
This is so like unedited, raw. Sorry, Carrie. I don't know how clean you keep your stuff. We post on social media. We've definitely been focusing on emails and YouTube lately.
Yes.
Don't go to our YouTube yet though. But so we haven't been posting like this past a month or so. We haven't been posting a whole bunch on social media just because we've been honing in on our marketing and where we want to be more effective. And so, but soon you will start seeing us on social media a lot. I forgot where I was going with that, but yeah. What I was saying was we are super raw. Like we don't edit a lot of things. We're like, because we want people to know like, back in the day, there used to be a lot of gatekeepers.
Yes.
But even then, I think it was just an illusion just because we thought that was the way, kind of like how you said, you just thought this was the process to live.
Yes.
We all like had that type of thing over us, but not anymore. And so, a lot of our content is super raw and unedited and perfect and 100% authentic in us. Like if you see me in real life, this is how I like talk and all that stuff.
I love that.
Yeah, both are actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
I am the same way. My podcast team, they're amazing. And Jenna will often call me and say, do you want me to edit out the dog barking or the baby coming down the steps? I'm like, heck no, this is real life. I do not want people to think my life is perfect because it is anything but. There are ups and downs. There are peaks and valleys. The dog barks, the baby cries. We get the flu. We have moments where we're puking in the toilet. This is just life. And I want people to know that real life, like the perfect polished lives of a lot of people on social media doesn't exist. And we're out there striving for it. And it's not real.
Yeah.
It's not real. So keep being your perfectly imperfect selves. You're amazing. You're fabulous. I can't wait to have you back. I can't wait for the summit. I can't wait to learn more about you. I can't wait to learn your accent, Devann. I can't wait. I'm going to take lessons.
Lessons. That's hilarious.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today on Coffee and Tea with CarrieVee. This has been a joy, and I can't wait to get this episode out on the airwaves. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Carrie. Appreciate it.